Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Broadway. The presentation is titled The Personality Challenge. We'll bring Bill up. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I want to start with this quote or study. We know that sales and teamwork and technology and business in companies is not about the business, it's not about the technology. It's only about the people delivering this technology and this business. Do you agree? Okay. So when you are in a place, usually you look for how people work together or how the employee or the co-owner or the customer. So technically, in sociology, psychology, they developed what we call a personality model, and they try their best to find a common language. So the advantage of such a model will be that it allows self-awareness of who I am. It also supposed to provide me a vocabulary or a techniques to be able to engage my surrounding and my colleagues, my co-workers in a way or another. I speak about this topic because since 2001, I was very interested in to know why people have really changed. So when I was doing my own journey through my companies, through my university professorship status in 7 universities worldwide, I always like to why the student will change, why the employee will change. So that's why I will be able to talk to this topic. Our agenda today is we will review the personality model, and I met, if you don't mind that I call you a fellow, or I met a co-attendee, and just explaining to me that last week he had his own personality check and he has his own code, which is, if I tell you it's gold orange is orange apple, what does it mean? Okay. Then I will talk about a few issues, and then I will present you a brand new model developed in Calgary, which is much easier, and few applications, and then I will summarize. We start personality check for personality types with the Myers-Briggs very long time ago. Does anybody in the room did not know about Myers-Briggs in his life? You heard about these things, right? And he made a very interesting model of 16 different types. And God bless you, I hope you agree with me, if you remember how you can create or what is the meaning of each one of these types, right? If you don't come out from a degree studying this for 6 months to a year, you will never be able to handle such a personality. Do you agree then? Then the very famous one was called DISC, which stands for Dominance, Influence, Steadiness, and Conscientiousness model. And this model is very popular because companies decided to make sure they want to increase the productivity, and somebody told the CEOs that this is a good model for people to understand. So if I meet you and you are a D, what should I do? Do you know? Like, nobody will know. You are a D, then what? What should I do? Another model has been popular in Calgary in particular called Core Value Index. And I'm not here to say this model are right or wrong. What I'm here to say is this model has its own place because people are paying too much money for it. But there are much easier models where you don't need to have this vocabulary where you go and try to look what does it mean. Core Value Index is one and has been adapted by a government of Alberta to a certain extent. They offer it anybody unemployed going for a new job or a new in this seminars. There's few coaches or few trainers, they do CBI, and they give you some profile, they tell you this is who you are. Okay, I know who I am. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I stand in front of the mirror, I see myself, that's right. Then a new invention came and said it's a true color model, and this is where we start to talk about serious implementation because they have a profile here of 35% of us is gold, 27% of us are orange, 23 are green, and 15% are blue. Do you know what does it mean? It means we are different, but what should we do with these differences, right? Another model came to the picture called color code, which call it red are the power welder, blue are the go-getter, white are the peacekeeper, and yellow are the fun lovers. So I'm not sure if I'm in a workplace and I have Y and I'm in the field and they have an emergency, the Y, what they will do over there. In the marketplace right now, there is a new program called BANK, which is Blueprint Action Nutrition and Knowledge. And this is the most recent one came from the state about a couple of years ago, or maybe 5 years ago, where they teach these models to salespeople. And there is also something called Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP, which is define you as a kinesthetic, audible, visual, and digital visual. Who here heard about this model before? Okay. This describes, by the way, why all very famous music will start with a slow pace, then a little bit high pitch, and then higher pitch. This describes why Metallica and this kind of songs are not popular among a specific sector in the of us as a human. So this is one of the very early models where they describe how we can understand and how we can behave and how we can operate. The main issues with all of this model is there is an assessment. So imagine I will meet any of you or you will meet me and say, hi, YM, I would like to tell you something. Okay, but hold on. Can you show me your true color assessment? Because I want to know. Why do you laugh, guys? Is this true or not? If anybody here from Chevron, I can talk on my, okay, that's good. I'm videotaping the presentation anyway because I will show it to my friends in Chevron. Chevron, when you will walk by, you will see your name tag with the colors. And I keep asking everybody, how do you know you deal with them? I say, I know that color. Okay, so what should I do different? Like, should I smile more? Should I like talk in a different way? So one of the biggest issues with all of these models is you need to have an assessment. And if you don't have the assessment, you will not be able to get anything based on this assessment. The second part is they understand that you have one status of emotion. Who is here will feel when they are angry, they are not themselves, and they take decisions that they don't do it in a normal time? Do you agree? Who is here when they are happy, they make decisions, and when they are angry, they say, oh, how come I made this decision? This simple head knock you do or hand or raising your hand means that if I am triggered emotionally, I have different set or different characters or different decision points. Do you agree? The other issues will be is they assume also that the emotion doesn't change the behavior. They look at how you personally fit, not how you can influence the community. You need usually long training. That's where consultants will make money, and it's not intuitive. So when I came about 5 years ago, I wanted to build a program. I came up with a model, and I said, why people trigger? Why people change? So the model I'm presenting here is called Behavioral Emotional Engagement Trigger. This is a model which is developed in Calgary. And please, if anybody sees something similar worldwide, let me know. Because you are helping us, right? I'm here to share with you my knowledge, right? And I also like to hear from your feedback. I believe that people will trigger and they make decisions if they see either a value or a relationship benefits or information process or time urgency benefits. So whenever you start to have a dialogue, what you explain how you explain yourself, how you explain a product, how you explain a service you provide, it must have each one of these quadrants. And if you want to understand more, you will realize that CEOs in a company will be basically value and time to deliver because they deal with budgets. And people who care about value, which is we have here the dollar sign for it, they will also look for your credibility, who you are. That's why I stand and say, I'm Professor Wael Badawi, I have 2 PhDs in computer engineering, I have so many patents, I have so many companies, this is who I am. If somebody, information process opposite corner, will call me, I'm bragging. Do you agree that I'm bragging? And you will agree I'm bragging because majority of you here as geoscientists, oil and gas, or energy, or geology, will have major interest in information. You know all this chart you have? All of these are information. So all of you belong to this quadrant here. So if you belong to this quadrant and you try to sell to a CEO, you cannot tell them how your service works. You need to tell them what is the value of your service. So what I'm proposing here is, it's a four quadrant. You need to talk about what value you have. You need to explain what's the impact on relationship and people. And the impact on relationship and people, it means impact on myself. This technology can make you a master of any networking event, of any meeting, because you will be able to speak to the point of interest of the opposing people without knowing their color. Within 3 seconds to 9 seconds, you should be able to understand what are the interests, how it works, what you can do for them, when you will deliver, or what is the value on who is using it. So if you go around any room, to give you one more tip, if you go around any room and you see these people having the Gucci and the Da Vinci and they have this very nice, valuable stuff, these people are value. And value, they don't care how it works. When you see people in jeans, they are more practical. They are more process information. Nothing holds against anybody. Do you agree? We don't hold anything. We just want to make sure we have the right language for people to hear. The last one is time to deliver. People will be interested, when are you delivering and what will it take to get into engagement, and you still talking about how system works. The difference between this science and what I propose is the emotional of each one of us will change. And I have been using this in a life coaching and trying to convert people in conflict resolution. And we found out that people really understand, like you will say, I like this person, and otherwise, oh, I know how, I love how he works. These are two different languages. So this is the model I'm proposing here, and I believe I covered these four different parts. And what I believe and what I was able to prove by statistical models and analysis of the community for 5 years, that based on your emotion, if you are in a negative emotion, means you are pressured, your priorities will be different. And if you are happy, your priorities will be different. Each one of us has how many of these four qualities? Sorry? All of them. But how many dominant on a certain point? Only two. So none of us will lack any of these. However, you will prefer to hear or to speak. And if you don't believe me, take a step to the hairdresser or to a nursing home or to a nurse and have a dialogue with her. And try to say what you do. And ask her what you do. She will always talk about the relationship. She will always talk about how she serves people, what the impact on people, on the relationship. She will never tell you how they cut people's hair or how they dye people's hair. Do you agree? Why? Because these are basically different people with different interests, not the same interest as engineers. So my message, and I'll show you a few resources you can get, but my message to you is, if you have some issues in your work, you better don't tell people what they wanna or what they are accustomed to hear. If you have conflict at work, or if you try to even sell your product, you're trying to come as a consultant, trying to come to do something on your own, you need to be able to articulate what you do in 4 different ways. One more tip is, we come back to this quadrant and we have a color on every quadrant. And we can pick up any marketing material. And underline each word represents this quadrant. So, for example, when you talk about value and time, efficient, effective will be good. When you talk about relationship, you talk about future, you talk about value, you talk about green, you talk about humanity, you talk about human, you talk about workplace ethics and workplace values. This only for relationship. You work about how you do it and how you drill inside and how you get the camera images. This is process. So if you pick up these 4 colors and you try to underline marketing for sure, you will know to which profile this marketing for sure will be written or is written. This is some resources, and my resources will come as a mobile app. So if you can scan, I have it at the end as well. You can download this. I'm having out two hooks in this particular model with some practical applications. One more extra thing I will say as well is when you talk to people, you have to look at what we call a decision dominant divided. People listen with their logic, people listen with their heart and the relationship, people will listen with their guts, which basically I love you, I don't care what you say, or I am engaged with you. How many of you often walk to a place and found somebody say, oh, I really like you, without even talking to him or to her? Did this ever happen to you? 7% of us are guts. They make decision and trigger to engage based on their gut feeling. You cannot explain it. God bless you if you have more than 7 in your world. And people will listen by steps, which is we as a professional engineers, I'm a professional engineer myself, we listen by steps. We want to know how system will work. There's an individual who applies this technology. He's a professional engineer. He used to be in one of the a vice president in one of the largest energy company in this province. And when I share with him this particular model and he allowed me to apply his presentation in the way he's providing his consultancy, he claimed that I helped him triple his business or double his business in only 3 months. Because the different language he used, it engaged more customers. The application of this particular technology, it can work in lectures, it can work in webinar, seminar if you do online, and it can also operate in meetings because you can basically swing your language. There is one more model. There is one more model you can apply with it, and if you are interested in this model, how people listen to you and understand what you are saying, I would encourage you to download the app because I presented this model last year in the same session. So I'm a what's it called? Multiple or repeat presenter in the same session. I appreciate that. So this is a very interesting model also for scientists to understand how people understand your language, how people can remove their goggles, and how people to engage with you. And all what I'm saying here is, if you master the behavioral engagement models, if you understand, you talk to the heart or the brain, and you have a checklist that you deliver, you be consistent, you get people appreciate, you show social proof, you show urgency, you demonstrate authority. If you can have this in your verbiage, people will engage with you better. And I call this presentation also called mindless compliance. It will be also available if you Google it, you will find I'm the only one talk about mindless compliance, which basically I can make you follow my wishes and give me feedback to whatever I want to get. This is an individual who I really admire. Brian Lee is 37 years speaker and is one of the top speaking from the stage in Calgary and in Canada. They received an award and they allow me to go and influence the whole association and organization with this particular technology. And I believe they went from 40 million to 110 million sales because basically they have the venue, they have the audience, but they could not convert as much as we can. So in summary, I present for you an analysis between the commonly used DEST, CBI, color, and other emotional intelligence techniques. I position the PEAT, which is a very logical, because people are interested in money or in relationship or how you do it or when it be done. That's it. Tell me. Have a statement in your presentation on each one of those and start with the one where you can see people in front of you will accept. In Calgary downtown, all of us are process information. Majority of us will be as a VP, as a vice president, engineers or whatever, will be interested in when the time will be delivered because we have a schedule to follow. Office assistant and office administration will be a relationship with process because she understands process. Nurses will be more relationship than process. That's why a nurse will be happy for 40 years without being a nurse manager or a supervisor. What makes us do what we love to do and keep engaged, and what makes me stand in front of you here and keep pitching and preaching this particular technique is I love what I do because I understand it. The last sentence I want to tell you is mom and dad told us before, put yourself in their shoes. That's right. How many of you heard put yourself in their shoes? But their shoes is different size. The meaning of putting yourself in their shoes is understand their quadrant so you will understand how they make decisions and what their appreciation, what they value, and from that point you can understand their perspective. And then you can basically influence or accept it as a result. Thank you very much. My name is Wahid Badawi, as you know, and
Thank you, Will. Does anyone have any questions? I have a question. How do you go about influencing or changing someone's way that they communicate?
I cannot change other people, but I can change myself. So if I know what you want to hear, if I know the tone of what you want to hear, and I speak to it, you will engage with me. So I basically we call it we play in your quadrant. We take us away from our quadrant. So you cannot change the one from you. You have to change our stuff so they can convert to accept what you do.
I think there was a question here. In the back. The back.
Can this be applied to a performance management in the workplace in terms of helping, let's say I'm supervising somebody and you're having some performance problems?
So the question is, can this be used as a performance management in a workplace? And the answer is yes, because these techniques will help reducing conflict from personal, from inside, because I know why you take this decision. Like I saved the marriages, including my marriage as well, okay? Using this technique because I know what will trigger you. I know why you don't like me. I know why you don't like this action. Because nobody don't like people. People don't like actions. So if I understand why you don't like this action, I either can explain it to you or I do it on my own to switch it so to something you appreciate. Or what's about guidance communication. And if you know what you would like to hear as a process or relations or values or urgency and when it will be delivered, I will be able to fulfill what you desire. So I can communicate and connect with you better. So yes, and that way I'm launching a program where I will train HR to use this technology instead of just because it makes more sense and we have like 3,000 words. If anybody will email me, I will send you a 3,000 words or 750 on each quadrant, which will trigger and intrigue this particular quadrant to listen more to you and be more engaged.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.